Welcome everyone to Dear Self Live. My name is Cindy Teevens, author of Alchemy, How to Feel Good No Matter What, and The Happiness Lie, What Generations Have Been Told That Makes You Unhappy. At Dear Self Live, you might be seeking answers. And this is the right place to be, because when the student is ready, the teacher appears to appear. Because no matter where answers appear to come from, your mentor, a book, the tree, a dog, an enemy, ultimately they come from within, from yourself. So ask away, because the truth is here and available now. So welcome to the catalystic conversation that can unveil it. Dear Self, the spiritual version of Dear Abby. Today, for a few moments, I'm going to speak about the health effects of happiness, because it's not spoken about often enough. But it is shown that states of happiness can raise your serotonin levels. And they also counter the effects of stress by raising your DHE levels and your oxytocin levels, which are hormones that aid in relieving depression and are feel-good hormones. So the brain is its own pharmacy. The brain and the system are capable of generating whatever hormone or neurotransmitter that you need for good health. And that we're finding more and more is intricately intertwined with happiness. It's been shown that self-induced mood changes boosts your serotonin levels, which we know have an effect on your mood. And this is particularly important for those of us in the north who don't get as much sunlight during the winter. And so mood changes aren't just sort of whimsical. A lot of people act and think and walk and talk that way. You know, I'm in a bad mood, or they're not whimsical. There's a reason for moods. You may not be aware of the reason, but there are reasons. And if you start to pay attention, you'll notice. You'll notice the relationship between thought and feeling. And there's a very powerful relationship between thought and feeling, because certain thoughts feel good and certain thoughts feel bad. And whichever one you're paying most attention to, whichever one you have the most interest in, that's the one you're going to experience. And so it is very important to pay attention to what's going on. If you don't pay attention to what's going on, then what goes on sort of goes on habitually, automatically, with whatever is going on around you. And that can pull you into some very dark places. The languaging isn't pure because it can't pull you into dark places, but it can generate dark places. Dark experiences where it appears like you have no choice. But you're never in that position. So what do we need to learn? We need to learn the skills of happiness. And we're not taught this anywhere. We're not taught in school. We're not taught it at home. We don't teach it to each other. Our friends, our relationships don't teach it. In fact, our relationships go off the rails with this. We believe that our relationships, our partners, will make us happy. Yeah, who here has experienced that 24/7? Or even half your day, even. If it's true that your partner can make you happy, it's true your partner can make you unhappy. Neither of these are true. But what you hold and believe to be true, you will experience. So it really boils down to, what do you want to experience? How do you want to feel? And the skills of happiness include discerning yourself from a thought. This is important because, you know, if thoughts come with particular feelings, it's important to discern yourself from a thought. Now, you may not know what you are, and that's okay, but you surely know what you're not. And to just notice that when a thought arises, that I'm not that. Then thoughts become options. What do I mean by options? Do I mean that you can choose which thoughts arise and which ones don't? No. What I mean by options is you don't have to believe them. So you can't control which thoughts arise. But you do have choice of which ones you choose to believe, which ones you put your power of attention in. And you can switch your state and your mood instantly, practically. The only reason that you don't is that you believe that you can't. I know, because I used to believe this as well. And so having the experience of sudden joy for no reason, in fact, flying in the face of many reasons, fundamentally broke that belief. And then I did it again and again and again. Nobody can believe such things anymore, having had these experiences. And you can give yourself these experiences by rejecting a bad feeling thought and shifting your state anyway. So I just want to welcome my guests today. Thank you for joining. I will be asking for questions later on. So because I started out with the health effects of happiness, but I do want to cover alchemy and open up for questions, so we will be doing that. So what is alchemy? Shifting your state, feeling better, happiness, lifting your mood, whatever you want to call it. And the more times you do this, the better, because it will erode the belief you have to feel bad. And one day it will dawn on you, my God, it's true what she says. I don't have to feel bad. I don't have to believe what I'm believing. Thoughts are options. And so every time you have a situation with work, situation with your relationship, situation with anything, a problem, you have actually an opportunity. You have an opportunity to see again that thoughts are options, you're not a thought, and that you can choose differently. Again, don't battle with thought. This is not about changing your thoughts. You know, a thought has arisen, and the more attention you give it, even if it's the attention that's trying to get rid of it, you're giving it more juice. You're not going to get rid of it. You're going to have a battle now. And so, how to do this? Use your power of attention. Feel into your body. Right away, that takes attention away from the unwanted thought, or the thought that you're not choosing as an option. And then pick the opposite. And you'll feel relief, and you'll feel joy. And hold on to this state no matter what, and then look back. Then the understandings will come. We have this idea we have to have the understandings first, you know, and then I'll be okay. No, you'll never have the understandings because you're in a bad state. You know, feeling bad, bad thoughts come to you easily and effortlessly. And feeling bad, you go looking for understanding. You'll ask the question why, and you'll find all kinds of reasons for why you feel bad. Whether they're there or not, you'll make them up. So don't do this. In the same way that you wouldn't try to have a sane conversation with someone who is upset or angry, you wait till they cool down. Don't fight a bad feeling thought. So with that, I'm going to open it up and invite any guests. If you have any questions, It's good to see someone I haven't seen there in a while. Welcome back. And feel free to unmute yourself. You have to press the little mute sign at the top to unmute yourself at any point in time to have a direct conversation. And if you're listening live on my website, you can type in a question in chat, and I will answer any questions there as well. I just check there once in a while. So I wanted to leave this one open because I hadn't seen a few people in a while, and I thought maybe there might be some questions. So I don't want to dominate the conversation here. Do feel free to come in and join me. In the meantime, I'll go on about some of the health effects. You know, when you feel good, it sort of inoculates you against bad feeling. And we could even say it inoculates you against ego. And what is ego? I don't like to throw that word around. It's very heavy, it's very weighted. Basically, it's a case of mistaken identity where we really believe we are thoughts. Not just believe a thought to be true, but we ourselves, we identify with thoughts. And it's bad enough you believe a bad feeling thought. It gets infinitely times the power when your identity is involved. You ever notice that? You could have a thought about somebody else, and it's not too powerful. But if you have a thought about yourself that's negative, and you believe it to be true, it can be excruciating, as it should be, because it's not true. So the pain is a warning. You're going the wrong way. There's nothing here for you. It's not true. Wake up. Wake up from what? From the unconscious stream of thinking. This is what we need to use pain for. Not to substantiate who we think we are. Well, that's just me, and that's just how I am, and that's just what I do, and all this story. But use it instead to stop, to notice, to choose again. As my friends who practice and study A Course in Miracles often say, choose again. Don't like what you're getting? Choose again. It's much like a menu out there, you know. You can have whatever you want. Don't like it? Choose again. It's not that you have to change the outside. You have to change the inside. You know, if you do happen to change the outside one day, or appears that you've changed the outside, because that's really what goes on, and then, you know, that will sort of confirm the idea that I have some power, and that I can do something about the outside. I. The same I who's so happy about doing something about the outside is the same I that's going to give you grief when it can't. And it will happen if you've lived even to be probably 12. You know this. Maybe kids learn it before we do, because they don't have any say about anything practically. And something happens. We turn 21 and we're an adult. And now we're going to assert ourselves. The latent ego that's just been dying to get out there and go and make things happen for itself. And that program runs for a while. It appears to have some successes. And then it runs right into some brick walls. Because eventually, everything changes, everything leaves, nothing stays the same in this world. So even if you get something for a while, you're going to lose it. That could sound very sad to some people, but it was a very important place to come to accepting for me. It also came, though, with the realization of, okay, There's the temporary, which grasping after is insane. And then there's the infinite, in which the temporary arises, dwells, and decays. When you quit looking for the temporary, only then can you find the permanent, the infinite, the eternal. And that's worth it. That's worth the trade. The temporary is going anyway. The sooner you trade it, the better. But the beautiful thing that happens is once you trade it in, you get both. You have the eternal and the temporary. And so the temporary can come and go. And it's all beautiful. The things you don't want can come and go because they're temporary. The things you do want can come and go because you'll have them, enjoy them, they'll be gone, and then they'll come again. It's a realization I had when I was a teenager, when I saw for the first time really obese people, and I had a panic attack. I don't want to be that big. That was the thought that came up. And then it dawned on me. You get to eat again and again and again and again and again and again. Not just get to eat, you have to eat. So no need to be afraid of lack with regards to eating. And that just stuck with me. When something is eternal or bottomless, and it's known to be such, then there's no craving for it. There's just full satisfaction. But something can be eternal, but not known to be eternal. And so there's craving. And we look for what we're looking for in all the wrong places. But you have this infinite smorgasbord in front of you that you can call on anytime for happiness, peace, love, whatever you want. And when you find the eternal, even the body no longer matters. Such that the experience it's having can be enjoyed. It's not the only experience a body can have. And it won't stay forever. So I encourage you to look at the menu every day. The full menu. Don't withhold anything from you. Whatever you want. It's here, but don't believe me. Test it out. Try it on. See what happens. Any questions, comments? I'm going to go to the board here. Okay, quiet day today over there. Okay. Any guests wanting to ask any silly little question? Doesn't matter what. Or even just say hi. When you practice feeling good, notice the changes in the body. There'll be many, and they'll continually change. There might be warmth, there might be tingling. And what I suggest is that everybody has a feel-good fest, at least twice a day. Before you fall asleep at night or as you fall asleep, and before you wake up and get out of bed in the morning, just take a few minutes to come to your senses. Feel your feet, the top of your head, take in your peripheral vision. Notice the breath moving in and moving out. You might notice the life energy, which has a pleasurable feeling. And just take some time to enjoy that. Enjoy the aliveness, the richness of the aliveness. Enjoy the quiet, the stillness, the peace, the relaxation. You might notice tingling. You might notice an energy somewhere in the body, moving or solid or pulsating. It's different for everybody. But enjoy it more and more and more and more, and you'll notice it will grow and grow and grow. You're giving yourself a self-induced mood change. You're giving yourself a boost of DHEA, oxytocin, and serotonin. And your body will love it. And your mind will love it. If anybody's experiencing any degree of depression or anxiety or negative stream of thinking, do this multiple times a day. It's like taking a pill, but I would say better because there's no side effects. So 3-4 times a day, like you would, take a pill instead. Well, not necessarily instead. If you've been prescribed something, take that. But certainly in addition to, or if you're not taking meds, go and do this anyway. Just do it for a few weeks. See what happens. I've worked with people who did not want to go on antidepressants and anxiety pills, and instead they did this. And it got them through. And they never had to go on the drugs. So it is possible. It depends on where you are. It depends on how bad things are, how long they've gone this way. Because the longer you experience bad feeling thoughts, the brain does the reverse. The serotonin levels drain and lower. So you can do a lot to help your overall health. That's what happiness can do. And some people think that health helps happiness. But I don't give it equal weight. We know that when the heart is in a pattern that is very conducive to healing, it can be in a stressed pattern, which is damaging, or it can be in a healing pattern, that has an overall good effect on the health as well. So what happens if you don't have good health? It's very important to pay attention to thoughts and to which ones stress you and drain you and give you added problems that you don't need right now. You need to stay in a healing mode. And so thoughts about your health can make things worse for you. You'll feel worse. Whereas, and we're not denying that there's anything wrong necessarily with the body. We're just not engaging and thinking about it, you see. The thoughts about your health are not the same as your health. It's the same for anything. The thoughts about whatever is going on around you, be it your bank account or your relationship, those thoughts are not your bank account or your relationship. They don't have to be held. They don't have to be entertained. They're options. And they certainly don't help your bank or your relationship. So practice being aware of what thoughts are present when you feel bad and shifting your state out of it. And grow the state by enjoying it for a while with focused attention and then appreciating it. Just appreciate the fact that, yeah, even though my body's maybe not quite the way I want it, or my bank account's not quite the way I want it, or my relationship's not quite the way I want it, right now, this is here, and it feels better. So stay with the better and enjoy that. May as well. You can. Questions, comments? I am not going directly into the practice of alchemy. I've done that before, and you can download the cheat sheet on my website at alchemylovejoy.com. So I just wanted to give some pointers and express the importance of feeling good no matter what. No matter what is going on around you, because most of the time what's causing us to feel bad are the thoughts about what's going on around us, not actually what's going on. So we have some reprieve there. We have some wiggle room. All right, one more chance for questions. Otherwise, I'm going on to Hawaiian radio. So I will close the, there we go. We have no sound from you. I think you're talking. There we go.
Barbara's put a question on the board.
Oh, thank you. Very good. Yes, thank you. Glad to see and hear you again. Me too. Are you suggesting to concentrate also on body feelings when bad emotion feelings are there? Body feelings. I would have you explain what you mean by body feelings. I guess that would be just a bad feeling in the body. What I would really suggest you do is you notice there's never just a bad feeling in the body, especially around emotions. There's a thought about the emotions or about what's going on. No, if you're feeling bad, I'm not saying put your attention on a bad feeling and keep it there. No, because that will enhance it. That will magnify. Whatever you put your attention on will magnify. So energy goes where attention flows. So what I want you to do at that point is to notice, okay, there's a bad feeling here. And notice what's going on. What just happened? What did I just see, think, or hear? And you'll find something that you don't like. And when you find something you don't like, then you can ask yourself, okay, what do I want? And find that positive reply. And it'll come mentally first. And then you ask the body, how does what I want feel? And as you do that, you'll begin to shift state. Okay. So feel into the body for what you do want, not for what you don't want. That's key. That's critical. And keep your attention only on the answer of what you do want. What we're doing is we're using one thorn to remove another, but when we're done, you can throw them both away. Because from the better feeling state, wisdom and knowledge will come to you that you didn't have in a bad feeling state. You will detach from what you think you need. And the problem will go away. Does that answer your question? Very good. Thank you. You're welcome. All right. So I will wrap it up today and get on to the next radio interview and wish you all a joyous week until next week. And thank you for coming and listening and asking. And keep asking.
Thanks, Cindy.
Thank you.